Spartans! What is your profession?
How much did they think I'd take before the walls around me break? They used me up, they bled me dry, but I stayed strong, I reached the sky. How much more did they think I could take? Their whispers were poison, their smiles were fake. Behind the curtain, their plans were obscene, using my heart to fuel their machine.
I gave them my truth, they gave me their lies. Played me like a pawn in their grand disguise. I stayed on my path through the darkest of fires, while they chased the shadows of selfish desire.
But I won't break, I won't bend. This is my story and I'll write the end. They can't control the fire in me. I'll rise above their devious schemes. I saw the cracks in their glittered facade, every move a step in their twisted charade. But I kept my head high, my heart stayed clean, while they sank deeper into their cunning routine.
They whispered lies in the dark of the night, promises wrapped up in glitter and light. But I saw through the cracks in their grand disguise. Their schemes were shadows beneath their sweet lies.
Now I see clearly the roles that we played. They chose deception, I chose to stay brave. The scars on my soul are badges I earned. Their schemes have crumbled, the tables have turned. I won't bow down, I won't retreat. I've got a heart that they can't defeat. Their web of lies, it won't confine this soul of mine. It's built to shine.
But I won't break, I won't bend. This is my story and I'll write the end.
They can't control the fire in me. I'll rise above their devious schemes. How much did they think I'd take before the walls around me break? They used me up, they bled me dry, but I stay strong, I reach the sky. How much did they think I'd take before the walls around me break? They used me up, they bled me dry, but I stay strong, I reach the sky.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How is everyone doing today? So happy, as always, to have you in the building. I am Tickle Truff. We are engineered to win, or as some of my favorite people like to say, I do my very, very best to annoy you to success. And yes, that is a very, very good thing. The people that I am closest to, the way that I see that their productivity, their efficiency, their progress continues to skyrocket, I like shout out. Let's go out there and get it.
Let's get it.
Let's run it up.
We the best.
What else can we do? What else do we have to do? So I just want to give all of my friends, all of the subscribers, everyone a round of applause. So we have a very, very fun show today. You guys know thanks to Wave Nerd, I am battling an addiction to tokens. I became a token fiend. However, I am working on being a functional token fiend as well.
Bruh.
Yep. So working on token management. I'm actually going to make a video on how to load manage your tokens so that, look, this is how it goes. This is how the epidemic goes, right? Wave Nerd got me caught up. I showed it to a friend on Thursday, and now he skipped basketball this morning, talking about it was so sunny. There was no drop of rain. So, but it's raining right above my house. It's raining right above my house, right? So I'm not playing today. Just about an hour ago, he's like, "Oh my God, I've been stuck on Lovable," and he sent me a whole application. I'm like, "What? I'm like, first I'm like, shout out to you. And then I said, this is the real reason that you did not play basketball today.
Bruh.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
But I did say, when I first got put on, I was so happy that it rained this one Sunday morning because I spent the whole morning running up my credits, running up my tokens, being a token fiend. So it's addictive. It is highly, and they keep you coming back for more. For me, it's at 8 p.m. Every day at 8 p.m. It's like, boom, 5 new credits, boom, 5 new credits, boom, 5 new credits. And then I'm like, I can't let it go to waste. I cannot let Manus does the same thing with me. Manus does the same thing. They're like, you get 300 new credits or whatever they call it every day at a particular time. And then I'm like, well, let me make use of it. And Manus gives me so much information. So as we get started, we're going to do a little bit of vibe coding. It's a vibe. And I'm going to put in a prompt in Manus to give me some information. I already prompted it yesterday to give me some information to help me make my time cost calculator app better, which we're going to be using Devin to make better at some point. So many different things. So many different things. It's crazy. It is crazy. But if I had to be addicted to anything, I'd like to be addicted to tokens and be a functional token fiend and run it up, make productive apps, make SaaS applications, PaaS applications, platform as a software as a service, or platform as a service, software as a service, all of that good stuff so we can get to the money.
Money.
As my guy Wave Nerds like to say, it's all about the money.
Hey.
Right? So let me get into our agenda really, really quick, and then we will get into a little bit of vibe code. Well, agenda, chat, a little bit of vibe coding on Lovable. Let me use up my credits. Let me feed my addiction. And then we're going to get into our Kubernetes work so that we can fix this Google Secrets and Kubernetes, so we can move on to the next part of the class. All of that good stuff, right? So let's start off with this. Like I said, our plan for today: get our token fix. I'm going to prompt Manus first, get our token fix in, and then we're going to work on Kubernetes. I got to say a big thank you so much to all of the new subscribers to the channel and those who have been with me for a very, very long time, those who are very, very active in the chat, and those who watch from the clouds. I see you, Monica. I see you lurking over there, but I appreciate every single last one of you.
I appreciate you.
I always have to say thank you so much, because you could be doing anything else, but you just allow me, even if it's just 5 minutes of your time, to add a little bit of value. Even if it's just watching a short that I release based on the longer form content, and whatever it is that can add value. And if there's anything ever that you would like me to touch on, all you have to do is drop it in a comment or send me an email. If you have me on Discord, send me a Discord, say, can you cover this? And the answer will always be absolutely. Wave Nerd is in the chat right now. Roxy's in the chat right now. Just ask them, like, whenever they ask me to cover something, I always cover it, because, and like Wave Nerd has asked me to look at about 90% of the things that Wave Nerd has asked me to look into. I didn't know it before I met him, and then we look into it and we run it up, right? And I had never heard of the RAG before until Wave Nerd, and then look, we built a RAG 2 Thursdays ago, and I had never really heard of N8N, a lot Lovable, and now we are. So all I'm saying is, you're interested in something, you ask me, I will look into it, and I will cover it. And if it's really viable, I will push forward with it. So reach out to me, leave me a comment, send me a Discord if you have me on there, send me an email, techotrough@gmail.com, and let's win. Let us win. A big salute to all of the Patreon members, my tech barbarians, my tech project members. I work with them one-on-one, my tech project, my tech barbarians. Matt has suggested that I reorganize the Patreon. Told me the price of the brick should go up. So I am evaluating everything, but we shall see. But shout out to my technical explorers. Everyone in the Patreon is working so hard when we have meetups and showing, like, we had a meetup last weekend showing how to use Lovable to take advantage. I'm just waiting for another look. When Lovable has another 48 hours of vibe coding, I'm gonna be looking like Cartman did in South Park when they were playing World of Warcraft, because we're gonna do a marathon. I don't even know how many hours we're gonna go with. We're gonna build out a full application. I'm gonna have to put that weekend aside. Say this is all that we're gonna do. Marathon it out. All right. I'm just saying. Do not threaten me with a good time. All right. So to all of the Patreon members, we are the best.
We the best.
All right. And then shout out to my tech mercenaries who allow me to be, those are the YouTube members, the YouTube channel members who allow me to be here, to put my content on YouTube, allows me to add value, to pour into other people. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
So do me a big favor as we get into the show. If you have not done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and we drop new content. As well, check out techcoachralph.dev. Get access to exclusive content, our meetups, our Discord, our when I'm showing you guys how to get started in prompting, how to get started in vibe coding, they get access to things first, all right? And they can reach out to me one-on-one. Junior has reached out to me one-on-one in the Discord, in the Patreon chat, and asking me, okay, how can I do this for the API keys? How can I do this for, I actually have to reply to Junior, by the way. Oh my goodness, I have to reply to Junior. But how to set up Superbase and all that good stuff. So, and if it's a message in Discord, especially in the chat where everybody can benefit from it, I will definitely answer you. If it's in a Discord, I will definitely answer you, invest some time, because by me answering you, it can potentially help other people as well. So that's the best way to reach me one-on-one. All right. So shout out to all of that good stuff. Also, we have merch.techcoachralph.dev. You can get this amazing nerdy by nature hoodie for the boys, for the girls. We have our token fiend line as well. I am waiting for that to come in. I got some hats coming in. I got some nerdy by nature hats coming in. So many good stuff. I cannot wait. All right. I cannot wait because look, they got me. Like I said, we have to start every show. Right? Wave Nerd is here. Hello, my name is Coach Ralph. I have a problem. I'm a token fiend. I'm addicted to tokens. Hello, Ralph. Hello, everybody. So we've said it. We are good to go. Let's get into it. All right. So upcoming tomorrow morning, we're going to be going live. We're going to be doing our morning show. We're going to be continuing with large language models and AI learning, all that good stuff. I think we were up to, what were we doing the other day? We were doing Hugging Face. So we're going to continue with Hugging Face. Then we're going to be releasing Candid Conversation. We're going to premiere Candid Conversation. I'm going to be talking about how you must bet on yourself. One of my favorite songs from the new album coming out, Captivity, available July 4th, all streaming platforms, is Betting on Me. I bet on me every single day, every single moment that I wake up, every single breath that I take. I am betting on me. And I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow. Betting on me and betting on you. How you need to bet on yourself, how you need to invest in yourself so that you can make the most out of your potential. So check it out as well tomorrow at noon. I'll be in the chat with you guys and we can talk about it there. Tuesday night, we're going to be going live with the Q&A, and then we will take it from there. All right. So that is everything. I'm going to check the chat really, really quick, and then we will get into our vibe coding. It's a vibe. All right. So first and foremost, we have our dear friend in the chat. Roxy says, good day, Tech Coach Ralph and everyone. Good day to you as well, Roxy. How are you doing on this fine, beautiful day? Hopefully you are doing absolutely phenomenal. And Roxy asks, it's cold in Florida? No, it is actually very, very hot in Florida. However, in this particular office studio, it is not cold yet, but it will be getting cold. Also, I have to wear the hoodie. I have to market the hoodie. So once my other merch comes in, then I will maybe not put the AC as cold, so I have to wear the hoodie. Look, it's a marketing tactic, right? It is a marketing tactic.
They ain't believing us.
But once the new t-shirts come in and the hats come in, then I can take off the hoodie and I don't have to put it as cold in here, so that we can still market the merch. All right, look.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
It is what it is. It is what it is. We got my guy Wave Nerd in the building to salute good people in the chat. To an afternoon to Roxy and to myself. Good afternoon, Wave Nerd. How is it going? And Wave Nerd says, throw your tokens up. Throw your tokens up. Hey, I'm with it. I am absolutely with it. All right. So, with that being said, we are going to get in our fix. And let me go throw this up really quick. So it is time. It is time to vibe code and getting my token hit in.
Let's get it.
That's eight. Like I said, my name is Tech Coach Ralph, and I have a problem. I am a token fiend. All right. So let's get to it. We have 5 tokens. So we're gonna be working on the homeschool app. So working my way through that, right? And I'll talk you through some of the things that I have done since we last took a look at it. Let me go over to the screen over here. And let's go here. All right, cool. So last time when I worked on it, so from the last time I switched out the what we were using to get addresses because it was kind of flaky. I said, let me use Google instead, but Google is still flaky on me. It's not implemented properly, but I'm not going to focus on Google today. Also, what I did was inside the groups, I kind of rearranged it. We have the groups that are working. However, there are some things that are like, so we have members showing me as a member. We have activities. So one thing I did was for the activities, when you create it, you can, instead of having it all over the place, you can say, so this one is going to be created automatically in the community. However, when you're using your own calendar and you go to, so when you're sharing, you can say, put it in a group, or you can say, share it public in the community, right? Still some stuff like, I'll put it like this. Working on this and speaking to people, trying to get like ideas and stuff, I have a new level of appreciation for product managers, product owners, because trying to gather the right information, trying to put people in the right mindset on how to give you feedback, how to tell you what they want and how they want something to work is not always the easiest thing to do. All right. So I'm just going to put that out there. So I have a new level of appreciation for product managers. And when I'm trying to get, as a Q engineer, when I'm trying to get this thing to fix something, that's another, like I have a newfound level of appreciation for myself as well, right? If I have to say so, for myself, because working with this software engineer sometimes can be like pulling teeth on this other application. I'm like trying to get it over and over and over to do one little thing. Like it's like you have one job and it just cannot get it right. So the core functionality still works, but sometimes it's just real pain, right? But either way, we're gonna do today, as we get our fix in. One thing that was bothering me, so let's say we go to here. I'm gonna put this on a mobile view because we want it to be responsive, right? And for the most part, it is responsive. Let's go over here. For the most part, it is responsive, right? However, hold on, let me see. Let's go to a pixel set. Hold on, it looked better. See, it was, all right, let me see something, 100. It actually looked, when I pulled it up on my phone, it actually looked different than it does now, which I'm not sure why, but it's got to do with this navigation, right? So if I was, let me see if I was to take, okay, see now it looks fine. But the problem is this navigation right here is totally messing it up. I cannot click on other things, but it looks good though for the most part, right? So what I want to do today, let me write it down. What I want to do is I want to fix the navigation. I want to be able to get rid of a group. So let's do fix the navigation, get rid of a group. Let me write this down. What do we want to do? So I'm gonna just put it in the chat, right? We want to fix navigation. Put this in this chat over here. Oh, do it here. Oh, okay. Well, that's all I do. Whatever. So fix navigation. Then 2, I want to. What else do I want to do? Do it here. So type one more time. 1, fix navigation. 2, I want to. So we have fixed navigation, be able to delete a community. What else do I want to do on this? Let's see. So delete a community, fix navigation. If we're here, I still have this issue where if I'm trying to reply, it still messes up. It cannot get it. So this is one of the things that it cannot get right yet. But I'm not gonna worry on that. I can focus on that at a later time. Let's see. I want to be able to. So I think I added being able to join an event, right? View the participants. We got to get this to be a little bit more responsive because it looks like a mess right now. But I'm not gonna worry about that today. We have the lessons plans that are working where there can be shared. Let's see. So let's say we do delete a group. What else can we say to do? So let's start off with fixing the navigation, right? Let's start off with that at least. So I'm gonna say the navigation is not responsive, and on a mobile device, you are unable to properly get to all of the navigation links. We should use the hamburger type menu when we are when we are on a mobile device or a what do they call it, like screen port or viewport that does not span that the navigation will not fit in. All right, let me make sure I have my 5. All right, I got my 5. All right, you see I have 55 credits left for the month. I'm being a functional token fiend right now. All right, let's just make sure that we get that out the way. I'm functional. What's up, KG609? How's it going? Happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so and while it's doing its thing, I was supposed to go and prompt Manus. Let me go to Manus.im. So here goes my ADD at work, right? So bear with me. Let me see. All right, cool. So let me go to. Bear with me while all right, we got that. So I got my credits. So while I am waiting for Lovable to do its work, I'm going to do this prompt that Wave Nerd suggested. Although I'm going to do it for a different topic. So can you create me an N8N workflow where it goes to Perplexity to get the weekly economic indicators on a Friday evening at or on every. So I had created this manually a few weeks ago. Ran into some issues with the 11 labs, but I have another idea. I found another tool, right? Every Friday evening at 6 p.m. And then economic indicators US based, and then gives me details about them, and then uses Chat GPT to break them down in a way that an eighth grader could understand, and send it to Play AI to create a conversational two-person podcast, right? So I'm gonna let Manus do its thing. This is how I'm multitasking, right? I'm gonna let Manus do its thing. Let me see. This is for adaptive, intelligently adapt for instant answers, agent. So I'm gonna do the agent one, and I am going to I'm going to say go ahead and do it. So while Manus is thinking, we'll come back to it once we're done. But so now we can continue doing the vibe coding. All right, so it says, I'll make the header navigation responsive by adding a mobile hamburger menu that appears on smaller screens. This will ensure all navigation links are accessible on mobile devices. The navigation is now fully responsible with the hamburger menu for mobile devices that includes all navigation links and user account options. All right, so let's go to over here, and I'm going to do a little refresh. Okay. How you like them apples? So when I click on here, oh, and it's open from the bottom too. Started from the bottom. Now we are here. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
So we can go over here, and we get here, and something that I am not the best UI person, right? What's up, NC worker? How are you doing? Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate you.
One thing that kind of bothers me about, I'm not the best UI person, right? But clicking it over here and then having it pop up over here, it feels kind of weird to me, right? It does feel kind of weird, but it's all good. It's all good. For now, it's okay. So we have our account section. We have our learning lodge, which is cool over here. We have our weekly lesson plan that is generated by ChatGPT. We have our list. Ooh, that's kind of maybe I don't think that's how it's going to show up on an actual mobile device. So I'm not too worried about this. We have, let's see, check out our calendar where we can add our events. Let's say, all right, so let's say we have on the 27th, we have an event here. We can delete it. It's a group activity. So let's go ahead and add an event so you can see what's going on. All right. So let's say I say we are going on Sunday. Let's say beach day on Sunday. And we say, oh, you know what feature I wanted to add? I wanted to add a recurring meetings, right? So let's say we are hanging out at the beach, right? And I know this isn't working yet, but I'm just going to say Pompano Beach on Atlantic BLVD, right? So the main street by our house is Atlantic Boulevard. And we're going to be, because it gets hot, right? We're going to say that, did I say Saturday or Sunday? When is the 27th? Oh, I said this is for the 20th. All right, let me change that to the 28th. So it's going to be Saturday. It's going to be Saturday. Beach Saturday. And we're going to do that before it gets too hot. We're going to do that around 8 o'clock in the morning. And just say all the kids are going to go. And we're going to say, instead, I don't want like to let everybody know in the world that we're going to be there, but I'm going to say, I'm going to share it with group, test group, right? And we're going to say add event. And the event is added. So now when I click, so my Saturday, I got my beach day. It's shared with the group. And I don't remember which group I shared it with, to be honest with you. But let's go over to our groups. Share one of these. I think it was test group I shared it with. If we go to, which one is test group? Check this one maybe. view details, activities. I don't know which one I shared it with. That sucks. Let's see. I shared it with one of these groups. There we go. No, that's a different one. Anyways, it's shared with some group. I don't know which group I shared it with, but it's shared with some group. Maybe it was test 3. I have no idea who I shared it with. I just be doing things. Let's go. Let me check this one. This last one. If it's not there, whatever. Anyways, I shared it with a group. It's there now. All right, so let's continue. Let's go ahead and say, so the next thing that we wanted to say was I want to be able to delete a group. So let's go back to over here. I want to be able to delete a group. Let's go to groups. I want to be able to delete a group that is no longer needed. If you can't delete it because of database records, can we at least archive the group so it is not visible to anybody on the front end? It is okay if we have archived groups displayed on the displayed in some distant, far away place in the profile/admin section. All right, so I'm just saying I don't want to be able to see it, right? And I said, like, if this is the case, because it's possible that because of database reasons you can't do it. So I said, all right, let's just push it off to the side, right? So we got that. Okay, what is it? While it's doing that, all right, I'll help you with the ability to delete or archive groups. Let me first check if we need to add an archive functionality to the database and implement the front end features. Please review and approve the SQL changes to add archiving functionality to groups. All right, we're gonna approve that. Apply changes. And what's the next thing that we want to do while it's doing that? I want to I know what I want to do. The third thing we're going to do, we are going to add in announcements section or bulletin board. I definitely spelled bulletin wrong. Bulletin board as the home page for each group. That's going to be next. All right, so it's doing its thing. And then this is going to be, so it's probably going to take 2 credits. We're down to, after this is done, we're probably going to be down to 2 credits. We'll do that. And so we're adding the ability to delete. Anything else after that I want to add? Oh, I know what I'll do. I want the ability for the groups that I'm a member of. I can't do anything with it here, which is kind of stupid. So if it's going to show, right? Because technically it shows like this, but I should also be able to click on here, because what's the purpose of it being here if I can't do anything with it, right? What's the purpose? So I also want it to be here so that I can like actually click in. So either I view details from here, what if I'm part of some other group, or I can be able to get to it here as well. And let's see. We got an error. Let's see. Front end database changes already applied. Front end. The archive will be completely invisible to all users on the front end, but the data remains in the database for potential future recovery or admin access. Both of the groups and group details files are getting quite large. All right, whatever. I'm gonna wait till the monthly re-up happens until I start refactoring. because I don't want to waste. I'd rather get my functionality up and then refactor when I'm not in a crunch. All right, so looking at the error, it appears React import issue where React is null is trying to access use effects. Let it fix that. Once we're done with that, I'm going to check Manus one last time to see what it came up with. And then we will get back. We'll get into our Kubernetes work, all right? So we're good here. We have 2 credits left. Perfect. So if I do view details and then I could archive the group, I'm going to archive this group. And are you sure you want to archive the group? See, so this right here, I'd have to fix the CSS because I don't like this orange on this gray on orange text. So we'll hide the group from all members and make it inaccessible. This action can be reversed by contacting support. All right, let's archive that group. Boom, it's gone. Let me archive this group as well. Archive the group. Boom, it's gone. So I'm testing out my application as well while I'm at it, right? But getting rid of stuff that but you notice here? Let's say we do get rid of this test homeschoolers, right? And we archive this group, but it still shows up over here, right? So perfect. That's perfect because now I'm going to tell it. Can you? All right. So on the my groups. Oh, I actually have 2 things to add. On the my groups section, can you? Oh crap. Should I? Oh, I don't know. Now I have. See, this is what happens, right? I come up with an idea. I'm like, okay, I have two competing interests. I could clean this stuff up, right? But it's not super important. I could say instead of doing that, let's do the bulletin board. So when I click on view group, I want a bulletin board where the admin of the group can put very important information. I'm going to do that instead, right? And if we have a credit left for that group section, then we'll do that, right? When you are viewing a group page, I want a bulletin board as the first tab so that the group admin can put important information that is relevant to the group. Let's go with that, and then I'll figure out, based on what it creates, I'll figure out what's the best way to do it from there. All right. I've added a bulletin board as the first tab on the group page where admins can post important information. Let me implement this functionality. Let's see what it comes up with. Group bulletin. It's probably, I don't know what it's gonna do because I wasn't specific enough because I didn't really have the idea. I just know I had the concept that I wanted, but sometimes I let it come up with some ideas and then based on what it does, it's all right. Let me refine it a little bit. But yeah, you can see you can pretty much do anything with this, right? Some of the other applications that I've done, it is crazy like how effective and efficient that it actually is. All right, let it do its thing. And then for the last credit, well, if it has to create, if it needs to create some type of database, then that's going to be the credit. That's going to be the last credit. Because when it does database calls, it ends up using 2 credits, one for the database call and then one for the implementation. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when it does database calls, it ends up being 2 credits. All right. I've implemented bulletin board tab when viewing the first tab. Admin controls only group admins can create. There goes the bulletin board, can create, edit, or delete bulletin posts. Pin style design posts are visually highlighted with a blue left border and pin icon. Oh, that's awesome. Full CRUD operation: create, read, update, and delete bulletin posts. Rich information shows creation, time, edit history, yada yada. Member access: all group members can view the bulletin posts, but only admins can manage them. What group admins can do, what group members can see. All right, so let's take a look at it. Bada bing, bada. Let's see if this works though. Meeting or rules of engagement, and let's say testing the bulletin post. Create, and nothing shows up. Let's see. Uses the bulletin board uses existing group post table with post type of bulletin to distinguish it from regular discussion. No database changes were needed. Group admins can now easily share important announcements, rules, upcoming events, and any other crucial information. However, it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up. We will. So I'm gonna have it fix it, right? We have 1 credit left, right? But I'm gonna double dip here, and here is a little prompting trick that you can do with Lovable. Well, if it works, then it's a prompting trick. If it doesn't work, then it's a total failure. But I'm gonna say that it didn't create, like, I created a post, but it's not showing up on the bulletin board. Also, when I create an activity in a group, I want to be able to, as an admin, say pin this to the bulletin board, right? So let's do our, we're gonna use our last credit. Let's see what happens. Okay? When I created a new post on the bulletin board, it did not show up, although it said it was created. Now here's the trick, right? I'm going to say also, I want to be able to pin an activity created in a group to the bulletin board to notify members of important and or mandatory upcoming events, right? That's my little trick. I added a related item to it to see if it's going to be able to do it. Now, here's the problem, right? If it's going to need to do a database change, I will stop right. Ooh, that's going to be a tough one, because it'll end up using an additional credit. An additional credit.
Bruh.
Because although I might be a token fiend, I'm also a token hoarder, right? I'm also a token hoarder. I like to keep all my tokens and not actually use them. So that's why you see that I still have like 45 to go, and that's spanning across 2 apps. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. See what happens. If I need to use 2 tokens, I'm gonna be very, it's gonna be painful if I end up going over, right? However, we'll see. So I see 2 issues. Bulletin posts are not showing up. This is likely a cache invalidation issue. And pin activities to bulletin board. This will require database. Oh my God, not the database changes. I feared the database changes. But let's see. So let me fix the immediate, or maybe I can get away with it. Right? Fixing the immediate issue with the post not showing up. Then we'll need to add the activity pinning feature with a database migration. So I will try to skip the database migration, because this work that it's doing right now, that should use 1 token. But then when it tells me to apply my database, I'm just gonna. All right. Yeah. Have you ever done this? Have you ever done this? Right. It is the end of the day at work, and I have never done this myself. Never done this myself. Right. But it's close to the end of the day at work, and somebody asks a question, and you know it's gonna be like a whole rabbit hole, and it's not critical to answer it right now, and you know it's gonna take you like if you were to go answer it, the back and forth is gonna take a long time. So you just don't answer until the morning. So if that's what's gonna happen, I will postpone my answer to my junior engineer to apply the database changes once the re-up man comes around. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, look, I'm a I am a token hoarding token fiend. All right, that's just me. That is just me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's get this to be done, and then we can move on with our lives for today. And I'll just take this as a first working segment. We'll do the chat. We'll do our first break time topic, and then we'll get into Kubernetes. Hopefully, right? Hopefully. So, it's all right. So now we need to add the columns to support linking activities to bulletin posts. Let me provide the SQL migration. Right. So it's giving the SQL migration, and now we don't have any free tokens left for the day. Right. However, it did not go from 45 to 46. And you see the apply. If I click this apply changes, it might end up using 2 tokens. I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. However, there was an issue. I am going to say, try to fix that issue, but I am not going to click that one little apply change because fixing the issue, we're good, right? Applying changes, we're going, as 50 Cent said, we're going straight to the bank, to the token bank, right? And I too rich for my blood right now. So, all right. So it says, looking at the error, I can see the issue is that the database relationship between group posts and unified events doesn't exist yet because SQL migration provided earlier has not been ran. The type of error is occurring because Superbase can't find the foreign key relationship. Let me first provide an SQL migration that needs to be ran. Whoa, okay. And with that being said, we have I got my token hit. I got my token hit for the day, and we can move on. And I will click this apply changes at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Once the re-up man hits me up, says, "All right, we're re-upping." All right, so let's check this really quick for this N8N. All right, so as we wrap this up, all right, so I successfully create. So Wave Nerd, are you looking at this? Wave Nerd asked me to do this. All right, so search for N8N workflow structure in JSON format. It browses docs, creating a file, Perplexity API document, HTTP. So it goes to Perplexity, and then Open ChatGPT API documentation. It does that. Open API and chat completion endpoints. And now it's looking at the Play API to do the two different people. Adding content, creating the cron job, and cron trigger. Okay, got that. And it does all of that. Successfully created the N8N workflow. So main deliverable is complete N8N workflow JSON. Ready to import into N8N. Complete setup guide, 50 pages detailed documentation. Technical architecture document. That is serious. Automatically runs on every Friday at 6 p.m. Gathers latest U.S. economic data. Simplifies content for 8th grade comprehension. Generates natural 2-person podcast conversation with Play AI. Includes error handling, retry logic, and email notification. Fully automated end to end. And then I can I should have said automatically. I should have said use. So many different. I can say add shot stack to render the MP4, and then automatically upload it to YouTube. Boom, right there, right? So I'm gonna add that later on. But look at that, all that. So what I'll do on another live stream, I will import this into N8N as we get our show started. Or I don't know when I'll do it, but I'll do it. Import that and see how that goes, right? So really cool stuff. Shout out to that. Giving me all the deets. So, I feel great. I am on cloud 9 right now. I got my token hits in with Manus, with Lovable. We did some great work. And then at 8 p.m. when the real man comes, I will hit apply changes. All right. So that's it. That is it. That is it for that part. Let me check the chat, and then we'll get to our first break time. I'll just take that first because that first segment was really long. We'll take that as our first working segment, and then we will do a little bit of Kubernetes and Devin AI and go from there. So, while I'm doing that, let me wake up Devin because Devin is sleeping right now. So let me go wake up Devin real quick. Whatever. So, let me check the chat. Let me check the chat. Say hello to everybody. We got KG609 in the building. Says hello to the good folks in the chat and Tech with Ruff. Hello to you as well, KG609. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
We have NC Worker in the building. Says good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you as well, NC Workers. Thank you so much for being here. We got my guy Rod Brown in the building. Says hello, everyone. Hello to you as well, Rod Brown. I was on one of my laptops, right, and I was scrolling, and I saw your Hebrew Israelites post come up. I saw you're almost at like 8,000 views. I said Rod Brown must be fighting for his life in those comments. I was like, oh my God, he must be fighting for his life. Reinforcements are on the way, Rod Brown. Reinforcements are on the way. You will not have to fight that good fight yourself. All right. I am just saying. All right.
They ain't believing us.
And what else? Wave Nerd says, I am here for it. I am here. You saw it. When I was working on NNN like a while ago trying to create that podcast, it took me maybe about 4 hours ish, like playing around with it on and off to get it to kind of work. But then 11 Labs really annoyed me by not working all the way. But then I saw Play AI can do a 2-person podcast with like through the API. That was my problem with 11 Labs. It couldn't do a 2-person podcast through the API, but Play AI said that it could, so I'm gonna try that one out. I said, all right, and Manus, this is your task. See the hat, boss. We have the boss hat on today. All right, I'm the boss. I am controlling Lovable in a very nice, lovable way. I'm telling Manus what to do, all that good stuff. Right, so that is where we at. Rod Brown says, I'm fighting the good fight. I'm saying. All right. Let's get to our first break time topic because I went on and on using. Look, you know how they say that your addiction can really mess you up. Well, my token addiction, my fiending over my tokens, got me working a good 30 minutes on our first segment, and now we kind of like messed up the whole rest of the show. So it's all good though. It is all good. Let's get into our first break time topic. So let me close this stuff off. Our very first topic, which I'm curious about this, right? I want to know what you guys think about this. So let's go ahead and say, should looks matter in leadership? That can be quite controversial, right? So I don't have a take on this one way or the other. We're just going to be reading through a Forbes. Yes, this is a Forbes article. Right? So I'm going to throw up 5 minutes on the clock. And we're going to zoom back over here. All right, so this Forbes article says, looks matter in leadership. Here's why that is not superficial. I've been trying to get to this article for a very long time. It was published on May 22nd, 2005 by Julian Hayes. All right, so it says, life offers a series of uncomfortable truths, often rooted not in surface level perception, but in our deeper human wiring. One of those truths is that appearances still matter. Whether we're talking about economic, social, or political advantage, there's long been an undercurrent of belief in what's known as pretty privilege or beauty bias. In 2025, discussing appearance and leadership in the same breath may seem outdated or even offensive.
Bruh.
We live in a time of heightened sensitivity, swift backlash, and disagreement often met with protest or cancellation. Oh, tell me about that. But here's the truth. How you show up still matters, and the data backs it up. A workplace survey conducted by Standout CV in 2025 revealed a compelling trend. Individuals who rated themselves as extremely attractive earned on average $19,945 more, $20,000 more than those who rated themselves as unattractive. Damn, that's harsh. Even more telling, 71% of CEOs rated themselves a 9 or 10 out of 10, more than double the general population. And is this just about good-looking people getting a free pass, or is appearance a proxy for something deeper? Discipline, presence, intentionality, and commitment to excellence. Ooh, I'm just saying, I'm happy how I hit the word intentionality because I thought I was going to screw that one up, all right? Just saying. The case for appearance and leadership as a leadership signal. Let's set aside the small minority of individuals born with standout genetics. For everyone else, appearance essentially, especially in leadership, is less about vanity and more about values. Your physical presence can be visible proof of traits like discipline, attention to detail, a willingness to delay gratification, and high personal standards. These qualities, when cultivated consistently, naturally elevate your presence and your aura. Studies have consistently shown links between physical appearance and professional outcomes. For instance, research in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that someone 6 feet tall earns nearly $166,000 more over a 30-year career than someone 5'5", even when controlling for gender, age, and weight. Boy, oh boy, that hurts to read. That really, really hurts to read.
They ain't believing us.
I don't even know what to say about that, right? Each additional inch of height was associated with $789 more per year. Here's a question, though. Here's a question. I really, really, really want to know. How many heights under 5'5", how many inches under 5'5" is a negative 789 per year? Painful. But pretty privilege isn't always about being born with ideal features. A study published in Personal Psychology has managers evaluate 300 mock elevator pitches. The more attractive individuals were deemed, the more hireable, but not simply because of their looks. What made the difference was nonverbal presence. Interestingly, when those rated lower on attractiveness gained similar influences by improving their posture and proving that executive presence isn't just for those rated high in innate attractiveness. Anything else? All right. In the Standout CV study, 83.4% of respondents said people who invest in their appearance are perceived as more competent or professional. In today's world, where many standards have relaxed, appearance has become shorthand for consistency and care. So pretty much it's saying don't show up like a bum, right? That's a long article to say don't look like a bum, all right? That's all it's trying to say. It's not saying that you have to be the best, most attractive looking person. However, take care of yourself. Don't look like a bum every single day of the week. Take a shower, put some deodorant on, smell good, even if you're working from home, because that smell will permeate through the Zoom meetings, even if you are off camera. That's what happens. It sounds crazy. It sounds weird, but it happens, all right?
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
It's true, right? Visual signals cut through noise and suggest reliability in a world of increasingly scarce attention. Build your own bias in leadership. A leader's best investment is in themselves. I'm telling you guys, you have to bet on yourself. Leading into our tomorrow's candid conversation, you have to bet on yourself. You must invest in yourself. in the tools that you use to be more efficient and more effective, but you also have to invest in your personal, physical, mental, and professional appearance. All of that stuff matters. Everything is evaluated by everyone. Your boss might not care, right? But someone at another company, they might see you and be like, oh my goodness, I want this person to work for me. I want to give this person the bag. A lot of times we just think it's about what does our job require of us? We go by the requirements, but we don't go by the what's best for us. Because it's not only your boss that's looking at you, there's other people in management, there's other people in leadership inside of your company as well as outside of your company. So many different opportunities. So many people come to me weekly, monthly basis. I had this idea, I have this opportunity. I want to work with you. I want to do this with you. It's all attributed to this hoodie that is available at merch.techcultureoff.dev, right? It's just the hoodie. It's all the hoodie. My appearance in this hoodie is like, you know what? I got to work with this guy. I got to work with this guy. It is what it is. It is what it is, right? It says your body, mind, and presence are not secondary assets in your leadership portfolio. Exactly. They're primary assets. Message. And yet this comes with pressure. According to Standout CV report, 78.9% of workers feel pressure to spend on grooming to meet their personal norms. Take a shower, get a haircut, don't put on wrinkled shirts, t-shirts. Even if you wear t-shirts, don't put something wrinkled on, right? Just look presentable. Look presentable. The most attractive professionals spend over $100 a month on grooming and $500 plus monthly on clothing and accessories. All right, that's a little bit excessive. Maybe you don't have to be the most attractive, but maybe you could be like almost the most attractive. And let's say we reduce that spending on grooming a little less, you know, that monthly on clothing and accessories. Maybe that's a little less. I'm just saying. 62.4% feel pressure to alter their natural features. All right, that's a little extreme. All right, there goes that part for mental, that mental part, that confidence part, right? But creating your own beauty bias isn't about following transient trends or trying to be someone else. It's about being intentional. It's about aligning your outer presentation with your inner standards so that what people see matches who you are. Exactly. People trust those who show up with care because it suggests they'll likely bring the same care to their work. Agreed 1000% with that. If you're looking to elevate your leadership and overall presence, start creating your own bias with the habits below. Dress and present yourself in a way that reflects your goals and your values.
Message.
Yep. Sharpen your nonverbal skills, posture, eye contact, body language, and your listening. They always say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. All right. I'm just saying. All right. Sharpen. All right. So we got that. Watch how you talk to and about yourself. Always exude confidence in yourself. Sometimes maybe being a little bit arrogant, right? Self-deprecation may feel as if you're being humble, but it can undermine your self-authority. Stop being self-deprecating. Build yourself up. Be the best. Bet on yourself. Move forward. Win it all, right? Attend to your physical and mental world consistently, right? Strategic appearance, not service vanity for better leadership. Workplace bias is real, especially when people are penalized for their race, hair texture, or failure to fit narrow norms. All right, here we go. All right, so at the same time, 55.7% of respondents said they've downplayed their looks just to be taken seriously. What? Both extremes are problems. The key is intentionality, not conformity. See, now I'm messing up. Now I've been reading for too long. Not conformity. And certainly not performative perfection. Appearance isn't everything, but it's something. It is something. It sends a message before you say a word. The way that you walk into a room, onto a Zoom call, onto a Teams call, onto a Slack huddle, that is your very, very first impression, the first thing that you're saying, right? Self-care and fitness. Self-care, fitness, presentation aren't vanity metrics. These tools are strategic levers for elevating your leadership in a competitive world where margins are razor thin. Intangibles like presence can create meaningful separation. It may be an uncomfortable truth for some, but it remains true. Appearance matters in leadership. Far from being superficial, it reflects how you think, live, and lead. And I'll say this, right? At the end of the day, do you want to have a moral victory and be like, oh, I stood my ground and, blah, 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 blah. I did what I wanted to do, but you're left at the same exact level for the past 20 years? Or do you want to play it forward? Do you want to win it all? Do you want to play the game? Do you want to play for keeps? As it said in Talladega Nights, do you play for keeps? I am always looking at what's next, looking 10 steps ahead. What do I need to learn? What do I need to pivot to? How do I stay in the game? Because while everybody is afraid of everything that's coming, I'm always strategizing, always maneuvering, all of that good stuff. So always stay prepared. All right. That is my message to you. Great article. Totally awesome. I agree with it. I agree with it. All right. We are going to wrap that one up. And we are going to be getting into our Devin and our Kubernetes, all that good stuff. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at Devin to see what was the last thing that we did. So the last thing that I actually needed this. Let me go ahead and open up WebStorm again. We got WebStorm up and running. We're going to apply our Kubernetes. I haven't used Kubernetes in a while. All right, so we're going to apply our Kubernetes changes, and then we are going to use Devin to do stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and go over here, and we are going to say ls. We're going to say cd, or I'm going to open up a new tab over here. ls, this is this Terraform to go ls cd ls cd. Let's go again. ls, we're gonna say let me move this over here so you can see it better. Let me close this one. We don't need this one. All right, so we are going to do cd Kubernetes. And we're going to say ls, we're going to say, we got to do a few things first. So we're going to do gcloud. So we can apply our Kubernetes. So gcloud container. And then we're going to say cluster. And we're going to say get credentials. And we're going to say, what is the name of our, we're going to say this one, UDCE cluster, and then we're going to say -- region equals US -east 1, like that. That should do our credentials. 403 permission denied on, so maybe there's no dash. And we're good to go. So now I'm going to say ls. So we're going to do kubectl apply -f service accounts. Get that applied. Clear ls. Then we're going to say kubectl apply -f. So this is applying our Kubernetes file. We've done this plenty of times. We're running low on time, so our Vibecoding, we got addicted. We spent a good amount of time on that. That's going to be a great clip, though. We're going to say we want to apply the app secrets, and that's done. And now we're going to say the backend cd backend ls. We are going to say kubectl -f apply -f, and is it just dot? All right, everything's applied. All right, cool. Now we're going to have errors while it's trying to apply it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our cloud platform. let's go over here. We're going to go to and we're going to say GKE Kubernetes engine. And let's click into that. And we want to take a look at workloads. All right, so we're getting this error over here, right? That's the same one that we've been getting for a while. I am going to look at, now we're going to go over to here. So it says, so I found the root cause. All right, so this is the issue. So I found the root cause, missing workload identity annotation. Your service account is missing the crucial workload identity annotation that, so this error. So all right, let's do a little bit of a recap, a rewind. So the last time we used this was on June 1st, right? And I said that, so I said I'm working on setting up Kubernetes cluster, which is using Google Secrets to import environment variable. However, I'm getting this error. So I said which error I was getting. And so I said it understood I was getting error. Yeah, I can troubleshoot with Kubernetes RBAC. The error shows that your service account, it doesn't have permissions. So check the account. We connected to GitHub. Do I have it? Let me check if I have any Git status. I don't have anything. All right, so everything is pushed up to the cloud. All right. Make sure git push. Is it pushed up to the cloud? What's the error that we were having last time? Let me see. GitHub. Repositories. All these right here. These came through Lovable. So Lovable gives you your code as well. All right, so we have, make sure, so we have everything here. Perfect. All right, cool. So with that being said, we are going to we're going to go over to here. So it's telling us the error, root cause, lacks proper binding, verify workload identity is enabled. First check, so we did this, right? Make this wider. I think we did this last time. Let's see how far. Yeah, I think we did this last time. And let's see. So we got, here's how to create the IAM binding with Terraform. Let me see if we did that. Replace namespace with your actual Kubernetes namespace. All right, so I did that. It says I said I'm still getting the error, although when I run get IAM policy, I'm seeing this now. All right, so we got that. The namespace is default. So it asked me what's the namespace I'm running in. It says default. Would you like to, so I asked it, do you want to access the repository? It says yes, that would be helpful. I can review your Terraform and Kubernetes YAML files to check if the namespace matches. All right, we got that. And we connected it, and we said, all right, I don't see any Terraform or Kubernetes YAML file in the Urban Dictionary API directory. Are they in a different repository or perhaps a subdirectory? Oh, I said that's not the repo. I will push it up. Okay, I pushed it up. I just added it, and then it says, oh, great. All right, so I'll clone the repository, review your Terraform. Okay. So, all right, so where we left off is I found, and this is where we pretty much ran out of credits. It says, I found the root cause of your RIBAC. There are several configuration problems. Missing workload identity annotation. Your service account YAML is missing the crucial workload identity annotation that links it to a Google IAM service account. Secret name mismatch. Your deployment YAML reference UDEC Mongo Connect, but your actual secret in secrets is named this. All right, so there goes one issue. There goes another issue here. Conflicting IAM policies. You have both project level IAM binding and secret level IAM policy, which may be conflicting. The main fix needs to be adding the workload identity annotation to your service account and ensuring consistency, secret naming. So the plan overview, add workflow identity annotation to service accounts YAML and create the Google IAM service account in secrets.tf. Fix secret name mismatch, deployment, and the TIA. All right, so that one. Update Terraform IAM binding to use proper workload identity instead of conflicting project levels and secret level policies. Apply Terraform changes, then Kubernetes manifest, verify pod service without RBAC errors, and then create a PR. All right, so we're going to confirm it. Reading all that it's important that we know what it's doing, okay? Because at the end of the day, even if you're using these AI tools, the person who said yes and to merge it, they're going to be responsible for the outcome of AI doing the work, right? So this is waking up Devin, it's setting everything up. It's going to clone the repository, it's going to write the code, and then it's going to push it up. All right, so it's waiting for Devin to wake up. But I'll tell you this, right? At work, just how our infrastructure is set up for security reasons, we have so many issues with Terraform. And we're not using like Terraform locally, we're running it in the cloud, doing the Terraform cloud. And we're always having these issues like with permission issues and if Devin could actually catch these permission issues ahead of time, like do our code review and say, oh, this might be says, look in this repo, see how this is expecting something, and then look in our repo, see how we're doing it, and telling us, oh, you might have some conflicts here, so we can fix it ahead of time. It would be a total game changer, right? You guys remember the song by Little Flip, Game Over? That's how it'd be. It would be game over. All right, so Devin says edit service account YAML, edit secrets. It took off 16 lines, added 16, or it added 14 lines, removed 16, edited deployment.yaml, and created secrets.yaml. Okay. So now I will now update the service account and the workload identity annotation, add the Google Cloud service account resources, fix a secret name reference in the deployment, update the Terraform bindings with the new service account. All right, so let's see what it did. It created a pull request for me. It's writing its description for the pull. This little thing does everything, right? It's literally your own software engineer. Because with the updates, or not updates, but with the new features that I had Mana suggest me for the time cost calculator, I'm going to use Devin to do it. I'm going to say, hey, Devin, I want to add this feature. I want to add that feature. And then I'm going to pull it in, test it, make sure everything is working. And then we'll just add these features fast. All right. I successfully implemented all the fixes for your Kubernetes RBAC workload identity issue. It opened up a pull request. The changes that were made, added workload identity annotation. Create Google IAM service account, fix secret name mismatch, updated Terraform IAM bindings to use proper workload identity, created Kubernetes secret manifest, right? So to apply the changes, we're going to pull it in. We're going to do Terraform plan and apply. Then we're going to do the Kubernetes applications, right? And we can probably just do, okay, got it. And then verify the fix for a particular pod. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this pull request real quick. Did I not start my timer? Did I not start the timer? Oh my God, I didn't start the timer. What a day, what a day, what a day. I am all over. See, this is why addictions are bad. Vibecoding then got me messed up. Chasing my tokens then got me messed up, and not starting timers and stuff like that. Oh my God. Anyways, whatever. I don't even know. We started at like, so we'll go for about 2 more minutes, I guess, and then we'll take a break. What am I? I gotta get my life together. I gotta get my life together. Okay. But let's go ahead and take a look at this pull request. And Devin AI integration wants to merge to main, put it on a branch, and bada bing, bada boom. Let's go to files changed. So let's see the changes they made. All right. So this one used to be UDEC Mongo Connect. It updated to TF UDEC or MongoDB connection string. This one was service class provider or secret class provider. Secret. This is the same thing. I don't see what the changes they made over here were. I'm not sure what this change is, or maybe I don't know what it did here as a change. Here it added a new YAML file. Here it added this service account information. In the secrets, it did that. I don't know if this is right. Added this resource. And then the role over here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to approve the changes, right? We're approving a pull request. I'm going to approve the changes. And actually, I can actually check out this branch right here. So watch this. Watch. So I got the branch copied, and I'm going to say git pull. And we are going, did my pull work? Git pull. Why did my pull not work? Let me see. There's no tracking information for the current branch. Let's see, git branch. If you wish, all right, so do git branch dash set upstream to /main, I guess. Oh wait, it's origin space main. The requested upstream branch does what? Wait a second. Oh, okay, hold on. I messed up. So this would be main. Main. All right, so git pull. Git checkout. Let's put in the name of the branch. Git pull. All right, so now we want to, as the pull request says, we want to so all right, we want to do, as the instructions say, cd terraform. Okay, let's go to the GCP one, and let's do terraform. Or not terraform. Yeah, terraform. Terraform apply. And we're going to say yes. It's going to be adding a e tag, an ID, the service member, the role of the IAM workload identifier. All right, so Terraform is doing its thing now. And look, Devin did this, right? Devin did this. We're actually working on the Devin branch right now. So 3 resources added, 2 destroyed. Next up, Devin says that we want to apply our service accounts to kubectl. well, no, we're going to go to this tab. cd cube ctl apply -f Kubernetes. Ooh. Hold on. Cube ctl apply -f and because we're all right. We want to do. All right. So we want to do service accounts. So that's configured, and then we want to do the secrets. All right, -f, and we're gonna say backend secret. All right, so that's applied as well. And then we're gonna do cube ctl again, apply -f. We don't need that folder. We gotta do app secrets. And last but not least, we need to do cube ctl apply -f Kubernetes. Keep saying Kubernetes. We don't need backend deployment. All right, so it says everything was run. Let's go ahead and check inside of our Google console. Okay. Let's go back over here. So this is old, right? Let's see here. So this should be doing something. So we click here. Creating node pool over here. Let's see. All right. Oh my God! Look at the time. Look at the time flying. All right, it's time for break. It is. I didn't even see the 2 minutes go by. I did not even see the 2 minutes go by. Let's get to break. Let us get to break. I'm telling you, that's why. This is why I have timers. This is why I have timers. Because I'm like, I get all up into this. I'm like, why is this working? Using Devin, using Lovable, using my. Those are my people. Those are my peeps. All right. I don't know what people are talking about with all these AI girlfriends and boyfriends, but AI software engineers, don't threaten me with a good time. All right. All right, nothing new in the chat, so we can jump right into our second conversation for today. So something that came across my timeline was our good friend Andrew Yang talking about the future of work. All right, so let's go ahead to our second break. Andrew Yang, future of jobs. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It was pretty interesting. So we're going to dive into that really, really quick. So Andrew Yang was, let me throw up 5 minutes on that. Andrew Yang was on Squawk Box on CNBC, and he was talking basically about the future of work with AI, right? Following up on Amazon CEO Andy Jassy giving an AI warning. I hear what these CEOs are saying, but Amazon has their AI. They're basically saying, so for me, when I hear Microsoft, Amazon, Netflix, Google, whoever is talking about, how work is going to be with AI, what I really hear is what we're going to be doing at our company. But people thought that there was going to be any more taxis when Uber came around. People thought there wasn't going to be any more horses, that we're just going to get rid of all the horses when cars came around. So I'm a little skeptical, right? But Let's put up a, well, this is more than 5 minutes, but I'll put a 5-minute timer anyways. And let's watch this, all right? Let's watch this together.
Amazon CEO Andy Jassy says artificial intelligence will lead to a reduction of its corporate workforce eventually over the next few years. He wrote in a memo to employees that they should figure out, in his words, how to get more done with scrappier teams. That's nice. Joining us now, former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang. It's a daunting future we have, Mr. Yang, obviously, and you've been. I said I was at was it a book party that I attended for you?
A book event.
6 years ago, talking about this on the horizon and the need for maybe even back then universal basic income. I guess at this point you're thinking, wow, it's accelerating faster than you even thought.
Yeah, it's here even faster than I'd imagined back in 2019 and 2020. And I talked to CEOs who are replacing thousands of customer service workers with AI, entire design departments, even coders are being supplanted. And Becky and I were just talking about how we used to tell our kids, hey, if you major in computer science, you'll be good to go. And now those graduates are having a hard time finding jobs. It's starting to appear in the numbers for recent college graduates and entry-level white-collar work.
If you're a science fiction believer, I was going to ask you whether the whole Luddite chorus that we've heard for 150 years, that it's never actually it's always been better technology long term. Maybe not always, but many times even more jobs are created from the technologies that's being replaced, whether it's internal combustion engines or whatever you want to look at. You would argue this time is different with AI, and then it's not. I mean, then if you, like I said, science fiction, not just displacing us from work, but maybe just displacing us altogether 100 years from now.
Yeah, well, we have to take a lot of those science fiction style scenarios very seriously, Joe, in my opinion. And the most common job in 29 states is still being a truck driver. You have robot trucks just now hitting the highways.
They'll be gone.
Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, said, look, we're going to automate away a lot of the entry-level white-collar jobs. And he's right, because I talked to executives at these companies who are doing exactly what Andy Jassy is talking about at Amazon, looking around saying, hey, guys, instead of hiring a bunch of 22-year-olds, maybe we should have AI do that work. So I fear for the next generation, because all of the experience that maybe we got in our 20s and 30s, there might not be that kind of ladder available to them.
Look, Andy Jassy said that he wants employees to kind of take advantage and learn how to use AI, learn how to do their jobs better, maybe make things easier. Maybe it takes care of some of the grunt level work you don't like doing, but it allows you to have more space and room to do things creatively. Should we be afraid of that?
Well, what this means in real life, Becky, is you have a department of 6 people, let's say coders or designers, and then you end up eliminating 4 or 5 of them, and then there's one designer coder empowered by AI. So there's going to be a beneficiary in the organization, but you're just not going to need as many people in that department, and that's going to play out over and over again.
Pope had some interesting things, and he's getting involved. Last Pope was big.
So I'll say this, right? Is it like what they're talking about, in my opinion, is a billionaire company's issue, right? It's just billionaire company issues where they're talking about, Amazon might have a team of 6 people and they're going to reduce it. Okay, well, I still see that they're going to need, like other companies, smaller companies, they're still going to need people. And they're going to need people to know how to use AI. So if you work for one of these major companies and you're fearful that you're going to be replaced by AI, you need to start learning AI very, very well right now, because chances are, whatever job you go to next, they're probably not going to have somebody as talented as you. And they're going to want to use AI to do more with less. So they might hire you as a experienced engineer. And the other thing is about what he was saying, right? What Andrew Yang was saying about, they used to tell kids go into computer science and stuff like that. Well, here's the deal. Computer science, number one, it's more of a conceptual major on how, fundamentals and strategies, architecture, stuff like that. You learn how to code in the process, but it's not about learning how to code. It's about learning how to think in the way of systems and stuff like that. But here's the problem, though. At the time that they were telling your children to go into computer science and people can get jobs here and there, like that, right? There weren't all these thousands of people majoring in computer science. There were a few. So now it's a competition. Everything is competition. Now, if you start focusing on AI, on prompt engineering, on large language models, on things like that, there's not that many people doing that. But guess what? in about 5-10 years, there's going to be a bunch of people doing that, so you always have to stay
Back
ahead.
to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
You always have to stay ahead of whatever the trends are, right? So that's like when I hear all this when they're talking on TV about this doom and gloom type stuff. Oh, how AI is going to impact jobs. They're talking about how it's going to impact jobs at people who work at Amazon, those 20,000 employee companies. How it's going to impact workers at Microsoft. It'll impact like mid-level companies too, right? But I keep saying there's going to be a boom of opportunities looking to like almost like contract work, 1099 work, gig economy type stuff. But for software engineering, people are going to have to be their own bosses, their own entrepreneurs. If you think that you're just going to lay back, I mean, I'm not going to share I'll leave that personal opinion to myself about the whole universal basic income that Andrew Yang is pushing for. But I am not that doom and gloom type person. I am always strategizing, always seeing what's next. What do people need? What value we can add into their lives, and then we go from there, right? But that's just me. I'm gonna end that video right there. I hear the doom and gloom that Andrew Yang he's been preaching doom and gloom for a very, very long time. And just because the Amazon CEO and maybe other CEOs say, "Oh, we're gonna have a reduction in the workforce," I see it as all the people who didn't have the opportunities, they get to put their ideas out, their creativity out, and they have access to the people who can help them get their thoughts, their goals, their dreams off the ground. But that's it. That's just my thoughts on it. That is just my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Leave me a comment on that in the video. If you're watching the clip, let me know. Let me know. All right. But that's it. Let's do one last segment of work, right? Let's do one last segment of work before we wrap it up for today. All right. We are going to, well, I never put a timer before, but we might as well put a timer right now. Let's go ahead and do one. You know what? Forget the timer. We didn't do any timers today. We're not doing any timers now, right? Forget the timer. Let's go and do one last segment of work. So we are going to, let me get Andrew Yang off my screen. So we have, all right, so we're going to look at the results of our latest pushes. Let's see. So let me go over here real quick. It said that, I didn't look over here. So this was done. Over here, we had service configured, created for that one. This was unchanged. And then this was configured. Right. So I'm going to look over here. And let's see if anything new happens. So this still says this. I don't know. Workloads. All right, so let's go back over here. So what Devin was saying to do was to verify the fix. So let's see, we do kubectl get pods -l app equals udec-be. No resources found in default namespace. So let's just do kubectl get pods. So we have this one restarts 28, so 29 minutes. So status crash loop back off. So what if we do, so let me see. Let's do kubectl get deployments. Let's just get rid of everything, right? UDEC dash, or let's do kubectl get services. So let's do, all right, let's do this. Kubectl delete services udec-be. And then we're going to do the same thing for, once that's deleted, we're going to do the same thing for deployments. We'll keep a namespace. That's pretty cool. We can leave a comment directly on the GitHub PR, and it would see it in Devin. All right, so we got that one deleted. I'm going to do the same thing for deployments. And I'm going to do get pods again. Let's get rid of that one. All right, and get namespaces. So there goes our default one. All right, let's do kubectl get service accounts. I don't know. All right, maybe there's not one for that one. Let me see. Kubectl get. I do not want to get all possible. Let me see. No. Yeah. All right. So service accounts. All right. Gotcha. Accounts. So let's do kubectl. I'm just deleting everything. Delete service accounts. udec service account. All right. So what was in the app secrets YAML? We had anything we need to delete in here? I guess that's good. All right, so I'm gonna redo. So let me go and check our cluster again, and check our cluster. It's up. Workload. Nothing there. All right, cool, good. Nothing's there. All right. Delete everything. So now I'm gonna try to reapply them, because sometimes when things are existing and trying to, it gets a mess, right? So I'm gonna say kubectl apply -f. And the one Devin said to do the first was the service account. So we're going to do service accounts first, right? Service accounts. Service account created, right? Next up, we're going to do the secret. Let's do apply. Backend secret. It was unchanged. I feel like deleting a secret just to be safe, but whatever. Now we're going to do kubectl apply. We're going to say backend deployment. All right. Updated deployment, unspecified CPU, yada yada. All right. Created. So let's say kubectl get deployments, and it is currently down. Let's go over here. Let us refresh that. So now we're getting is forbidden container with database constraint referencing. Make sure I'm on the right branch. I should be, because I was able to run all that. Yeah, I'm on the right branch. So let me copy this error, paste it into Devin. I'm using your branch to apply those changes, and I'm getting this error after following your instructions. Let's see what Devin says about that. I see the secret name is now correct, but the RBC still persists. Let me investigate. This suggests the work identity annotation might not be properly linking to the Google service account, or the Terraform change hasn't been applied yet. Did you? I did run. Yes, I did run Terraform apply. Terraform apply, and it did. I'll tell you what it did as well. It added 3 resources and destroyed 2. Good. Terraform applied successfully. The work identity might need time to propagate, or there could be an issue with annotation format. Let me check the current service account configuration and troubleshoot why the workload identity binding isn't working. I wish I could just give it access to the Google account, and then it can go and check the settings in the Google account as well. That would be pretty cool. I see the issue now. Looking at your configuration, you're using both CSI secret driver and trying to reference the secret directly in the deployment. This creates a conflict. The CSI driver mounts secrets as files, but your deployment is trying to access them from Kubernetes secrets via secret key ref. Let me investigate the proper configuration pattern for your setup. All right. Let's see. Your app secrets YAML uses the CSI secret to mount the Google Secrets Manager secret as a file, but your deployment is trying to access the Kubernetes secrets. You need to choose one approach. So option 1, use secret CSI recommended. I will go with what's recommended. Let's see. Edited deployment.yaml, edited secrets.yaml. Fix the root cause, identified and resolved the actual issue. You're using both CSI and trying to reference that. Change database connection from secret key ref to read from the mounted path. Remove unnecessary Kubernetes secret manifest since CSI handles the mounting. Push the fix to your existing PR. The issue was your CSI secret mounts, yada, yada, yada. Now, your app should read the database connection string from the mounted file. Use the workload identity to authenticate with Google Secrets Manager via CSI and start without RBAC errors. So next steps, apply the updated deployment. Check if pods start successfully. Verify the secret is mounted by doing this command. Your application code will need to read the connection string from the file path instead of the environment variable. All right, let's give it a try. As we wrap up for today. All right, so git pull. I'm going to pull in the latest changes. All right, you got the latest changes in. Now we are going to do the commands they said. So let me go back over here, and we're going to say kubectl apply-f backend deployment .yaml. Enter. Okay. I feel like deleting it again, to be honest with you. Let's go and look at so I think the error might have changed. Let me see. Is with environment database connection reference secret.secret name connection string not allowed because service account does not reference that secret, and one more issue. Let me see what this says. Pod unschedulable, cannot schedule pod, no preemption victims found for the incoming pod. That sounds kind of harsh. So let me go back over here. Let's do kubectl get pods. So that one is not starting. All right. Let me compare the errors that I was getting. So I'm going to look at what I copied over here. Oh, wait. Cannot schedule pods. Insufficient memory. What in the world is that? What? That is weird. So let's copy this. Going back to Devin. And let me paste this in here and see what the issue was I was getting before. Okay, it's forbidden. Container with is referencing is not allowed because the service account does not reference that secret. I'm gonna delete it again, right? I'm gonna delete the whole deployment and try to apply it again. Because sometimes, like when I try to apply the deployment over again, I don't trust it. So kubectl delete deployments udec-be. All right. So kubectl get pods, kubectl get deployments, and kubectl apply -f backend deployments.yaml. All right. All right. Said it's created. Unspecified. So default unspecified CPU store resource. All right. Let's go back to over here. Does not, all right, so it does not have a minimum availability. What does that mean? What is that all about? What is that all about? Does not have a minimum availability? Your deployment may show temporary errors while autopilot prevents. Okay, so maybe that's what it is. Pods are pending. Does not, I don't know what that means. That others actually, all right, let's see. Container creating. I don't know if I should be worried about that. All right, pods are pending. All right, let's see what's going on. What up, Chris Parks? How you doing today? My guy Chris is in the building. Let me see what this means. So, don't let me see. Does not. All right. So deployed workloads. Troubleshoot errors for workloads running on GKE cluster, including crash, loop backoff, and pod unschedulable. Read pod unschedulable section for advice on errors like match no selector. And all right. Let's see. You might encounter an error indicating a lack of CPU memory or another resource. For example, nodes are not available that match the predicates, insufficient CPU, which indicates that two nodes there isn't enough CPU available to fulfill a pod's request. If your pod's resources exceed that of a single node, GKE does not schedule all right. Can enable auto node provisioning so that GKE can automatically create node pools with nodes where the unscheduled pod can run. What? I don't even know what that means. Let's see. So, let me do this. Well, let me take this. But I thought if you're doing like the auto manage one, then you don't have to set it. We recommend that you explicitly set your resource request for each container met to meet your application requirements. Autopilot supplies the following default resources requests regardless of the selected compute class. So if we're on autopilot, then why don't we have this already? Because it still says pods are pending. So I'm just gonna copy this error because it's been a while. Let me see what it shows up in here. Annotation, we got that. We got this. You know something I just realized too, though? Well, no, because it should start up and then give an error that it can't connect to the, let me see, logs. Successful create. Let's see. I don't know what it's looking for. Hold on. Let's go back over here. Let's see here. It feels kind of stuck. Pods running pod trials. All right, let's try this one then. Now when trying to start the or trying to apply the deployment on GKE, I'm getting this error. See what that says. See if it can help us with that. And then we'll wrap it up after that. Let's see what we can get. That's a different error. Minimum means your GKE cluster doesn't have enough resources, CPU or memory, or nodes to run the 3 replicas. I'll investigate the cluster capacity and help you adjust your deployment configuration. All right, let's see what it can do for us. Now I'll reduce the number of replicas to 1 and add a resource request and limits the deployment to address the minimum availability error on GKE. It's pushing up the changes. So it's telling you what it's doing. It edited the deployment file locally. It's doing a git add to that file and committing it, and it's going to push it to that branch. And it's showing you what it's doing too in this browser over here. It's like you're looking at what it's doing on its computer. Stuff that we would do ourselves, but a lot more slower. But even with what I'm prompting it to do, like setting up infrastructure, we're still trial and erroring it and trying to figure it out. So that's why for me it's like so hard when they say, "Oh, we're not going to need this, we're not going to need that." We're still going to need them. Let's see. Got a sprint review as well in a little bit, and at 6 p.m. Eastern time, sprint review with my tech barbarians. We're actually working on an app. Going to be adding some more features to it, some really cool stuff as we wind down this show. Creating a plan. Once this is done, I'll read it and then I'll apply it, and then we'll get up out of here. Maybe we'll have another like 5 to 10 minutes to go. Let's see. All right.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right, so Devin says fix minimum error by increasing resource requirements to 100 M CPU. Keep existing CSI configuration intact. I was already there. And update existing PR branch. All right, so I'm going to pull it in real quick. Git pull. I am going to just do cube. We should not have to, but I just feel safer just getting rid of it. Deployments. UDEC-BE, and I'm gonna say apply that again. We're gonna go over to here, workloads again. Let's refresh. Still saying it. Very, very weird. Clusters. Click over here. Can't skip. Maybe this is the reason. Notification showing scaling issues observed within the past 72 hours, regardless of whether they've been resolved. What does that mean? Maybe that's what the problem is. Exceeded quota. Oh, maybe that's what it is. All right, so we will investigate that. Maybe that's what the issue is. Maybe it's exceeded quota. So next weekend, we'll get back into it. Maybe we need to increase our quota. And then we can go from there. I don't know. Weird stuff. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to get up and out of here today. We got my guy, Chris Parks, in the building. What's up, Chris? How are you doing? How is everything going for you? But I'm going to wrap it up. I got a bunch of stuff to do for the rest of the day. Might go and see some people. Got to do my sprint. Got to do our sprint review, our sprint retro, and our sprint planning for our next sprint. For our next 2 weeks of work, as we wrap it up, do me a favor if you have not done so already, although I know that you did. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. Check out TechCoach.dev. A lot of really, really cool stuff happening over there. Meetups. I'm going to be going impromptu live in the Discord as I work on more stuff, as I'm feeding my token addiction. All of that. We got merch.techcoach.dev. Get this really, really cool hoodie that I have on real here with our Nerdy by Nature, as well as our new token themes line. That's going to be that. It's already out. I'm going to be getting my merch sometime, like maybe at the end of this week. All of that good stuff, right? But that is it. Remember, tomorrow morning, we're going to be live with working on large language models. And tomorrow at noon Eastern time, we're going to be having a candid conversation about why you have to continue to bet on yourself, right? But with that being said, I am getting out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday, a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and have a great week. All right, have a great week. Tech with Ralph. We are out.
I'm not their echo, I'm my own sound. My roots in the earth, my head unbound. They whisper and judge, but I'm not their clay. I mold my tomorrow, I'm done with today. I walked away from their parade. Their words like stones that ricochet. They call me lost, but I am found on this quiet road where I'm unbound. I walked away through the quiet of the storm. Their voices loud, but my soul felt warm. They point their fingers, call me the stray, but I found my freedom when I walked away, yeah.
I walked away from their parade. Their words like stones that ricochet. They call me clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
Their dreams aren't mine, they never fit. A puzzle forced, it just won't click. I see the world through my own eyes, not filtered through their scripted lies.
Their dreams were cages I couldn't call home. I saw a horizon where I could roam. They don't understand what they can't contain, but my path is my own through joy and pain. They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
Let them whisper, let them glare. I've grown strong in this thin air. The crowd may roar, but I won't bend. My road's my own until the end. They call me the outsider for chasing my flame. Their rules and their boxes I refuse to claim. I won't be a shadow, I'll carve my own way. They can try to shame me, but I won't obey. They call me the outsider for chasing my flame. Their rules and their boxes I refuse to claim. I won't be a shadow, I'll carve my own way. They can try to shame me, but I won't obey.
They try to shame the soul that strays. When you carve your path, they turn away. An outsider's heart beats loud and clear. No chains can hold what's free from fear.
So call me the outsider if that's what I'll be. I'd rather be lost if it means I'm free. Their maps are for them, I'll chart my own sea. I walked away, now I'm finally me.